Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SAGU Sports Network. My name is Evan the Astro Kid, and I am here with my wonderful co-host.
My name's Ivo Gravy. I go by Gravy. I play Rocky League for SAGU Esports. I'm also the admin over the sports games. So this semester is just Madden and FIFA, and I run those guys.
Cool.
So.
And we have our SAGU Lions Call of Duty team playing against the Elmira College Purple Call of Duty team, and we've got a really good game tonight. I am feeling confident both teams. So the SAGU Lions right now are sitting at 4 wins and 2 losses, which for a regular season total, that's pretty strong. That's pretty good. Yeah. They've secured their spot in finals, or in the playoffs, I mean. And then we have Elmira Purple, and they right now are at 5-2, so they've got 1 win up on the SAGU Lions. And the reason those both don't add up is because there were certain games that have yet to be played and different things like that. But I'm really excited for this, and this is going to be a hard-fought game. Both teams want to win and go into this playoffs game with kind of a good headspace and are really hoping for this win. So, Gravy,
Yeah.
how do you think this game's going to play out tonight?
Just from being around the guys, playing a little bit with them here and there, they're really confident. SAGU Lions is really confident going into this game. Obviously, Elmira is a good team. You have to respect them. But I think SAGU's pulling out with the win today, in my opinion. But, either way, for either team, you come out with a win today, it sets the momentum going into playoffs, and to be able to have that winning attitude, that winning mindset going in is a big card to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very important. And really briefly, if you're thinking, what is this Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 that we are about to broadcast? Well, I am here to enlighten you, the Evan the Astro Kid. So this game we are playing today is in a franchise known as Call of Duty, and this specific game is called Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, the game is actually a remake of an earlier game that came out in late 2009 that was also called Modern Warfare 2. Now, Call of Duty games are what are known as first-person shooters, or FPS games. And FPS games are centered around players using guns to shoot the opposing players before they themselves are shot and die. This game is modeled after 21st century military warfare and thus has modern guns and weapons like grenades, rocket launchers, and even aerial vehicle support. This competition is played in a series of individual games with 2 teams of 4 players each going head-to-head in a best of 5. Now, whichever team is the first to win 3 out of the 5 possible games is declared the winner of this set and takes the week conference win. So it's a best 3 out of 5. Now, this determines what the playing teams need to do to win that current game, and these change based on the game. This is known as the objective or the game mode. Both teams will have the same objective, and the team that completes the objective first is declared the winner of that game. Each game will have a different game mode from the last one, so the competition stays exciting and fair for both teams. In the current competitive ECAC Call of Duty League, which is the league we are playing in, there are 3 game modes that are played over the 5 games. They are known as Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, and Control. Now, just to give a brief synopsis of each of those game modes, Hardpoint involves a moving zone on the map that the teams need to stand in, with the team, which each point involves 1 second standing in the zone, and the team that reaches 250 points in the objective area claiming the win. Now, the game mode Search and Destroy has one team trying to arm, or we refer to it as planting, an explosive on 2 designated locations, while the other team is tasked with stopping them from planting said explosive, or at worst, disarming, or what we say, defusing the already armed explosive. The team will rotate attacking and defending until one team wins 6 rounds and is declared the winner of the game. Now, if one team kills all of the opposing team, they will win unless the attacking team gets the bomb, allows the explosive to go off before the defenders can defuse it. Then the attacking team will win, even if they've lost all of their players. Now, the game mode Control puts 2 stationary target zones on the map that must be claimed by players standing inside them. The teams will compete for the most time inside the target zone, and the first team to win 3 rounds will be declared the winner of the game. There is also a respawn mechanic where each team only has 30 lives amongst their entire team, and if you run out of lives, then you will lose no matter what, no matter whether you're attacking or defending. So, as well as having a different game mode, each time the players compete, they will be playing on a different battlefield that is known as the map. Maps are the map the team will be playing on is predetermined before each set. So whatever map they are on, they've already discussed this before the game, and it's preset, and so they can just start playing once it's time to begin. And last but not least, players have total control of what weapons they wish to use when competing. Their individual collection of weapons they use is known as their loadout. Each player chooses their loadout before each game and can change it depending on the strategies their team wants to execute. There is also a fundamental rule that is known as a gentleman's agreement in this game that basically puts limits on what kind of weapons they can have in their loadout, because some weapons are just a little too strong. And we don't want to give any team a particular edge because maybe some weapons are too strong when defending on this map, and that can give an unfair advantage in a very specific scenario. So we limit it to a certain scope of weapons so that it is fair for everyone and it feels like a good competitive game. And now keep in mind, this is week 8 of the ECAC regular season. This is the last game of the regular season. So both of these teams are really excited. They are hoping for some good competition, maybe a win. That's the goal. And Gravy, earlier you were saying you were thinking it was going to go SAGU Lions' favor. What do you think the prediction is? Because we've got a possible of 5 games. Mm-hmm. So what are you thinking is going to be the end total? Are you thinking it's going to be a full 3-0 sweep from one of these teams, or do you think it's going to ping pong back and forth for a little bit?
I think SAGU's probably going to take this 3-1, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think there's a high chance, though, of it going Game 5. If it goes Game 5, it's not going to be a big surprise for me, in my mind. The only thing that would really surprise me is if either team swept. Because both these teams have a good record for a reason. They're both good teams. So, you can trust them to know what they're doing and to play well, play smart the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think we will probably see a Game 5. I think I'm going to agree with you on that. Yeah. That a Game 5 seems like, both these teams having secured a position in playoffs, these are playoff level teams. And neither one likes to give up any kind of ground easily. And
with them already both securing playoffs, you don't have those nerves of, are we going to make it or not? That can be another mindset, another little, mind game to go into the match with. And, that's already gone. Both teams are already qualified, and both teams are already looking kind of good. And, this is just to get better seeding. I think with those nerves gone, we're going to be able to see the peak gameplay from both.
Yeah. Mental state's a huge part of these games. If you're even a little bit nervous, maybe you'll play more defensive. You won't usually communicate as effectively. Yeah. So, as you said, with both teams having secured a position in playoffs, there's not that, anticipation jitters, this last second kind of energy of we have to get this or it's game over. And so I think we're going to see some top level, some quality Call of Duty gameplay. And we will be getting to this game 1 very shortly. We're just waiting on a couple of the technical things to get worked out. But Gravy, with you being here, who do we have competing for the SAGU Lions, the SAGU Lions roster? Who are our Call of Duty players?
Well, we got 4 guys. We got MW2, a.k.a. Alex. We have Angry Snowbear. His name is Phil. And then we have Aether, whose name is Jimmy. And then we have Ogden, whose name is David. Yeah. And, they're all solid. I would really look out for MW2 and probably Ogden to be the top fraggers. Aether's up there too. Phil's that great team player, that solid guy you can rely on in those moments where you just need someone to come through, But your top fraggers or your guys that are going to get the most kills are probably going to be one of the other 3 players.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we've seen these results from Ogden, from Aether, from MW2. These are the guys that can get right in the middle of the heat. They know how to pick their shots. They know the angles that they need to be looking at to make sure that they get the kill on the opponent. And Call of Duty is such a fast-paced game. Oh, yeah. Things are moving so quickly and everything is happening all at once. So for these guys to be working together, to have someone like Angry Snowbear to kind of cover your blind sides, to kind of pick up wherever the other players are not able to carry through in their game plan. I think it's a very well-rounded team. Yeah. And but also Elmira, they are 5-2. They are all obviously very strong, and we've seen them perform against other teams of really high caliber. We've seen them fully sweep some teams that I believe at that time were undefeated. This was earlier on in the ECAC regular season. And so they're some heavy hitters. They know how to play. They know how to win. And I think this is probably going to be either a Game 4, maybe even a Game 5 kind of week. But thank you so much for everyone who has been tuning in. This is the SAGU Sports Network, but huge shout out to also SAGU Esports for being a part of this. You know, Gravy, Coach Wilkie, all of the competitors and athletes who are playing. Thank you so much for all the hard work that you guys put in. It's really showing, especially having so many teams going to playoffs within a couple weeks, which playoffs, I believe, are in the middle of April. It's middle April, late April.
It's actually all of April.
All of April,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. The first week of April is week 1 of playoffs.
Okay, and that is coming up very, very quickly. And so for all of you who are wondering how the playoffs are going to go, make sure you follow, you like, you are invested in the connecting points for these two mediums, the SAGU Sports Network and SAGU Esports, because both of which will be giving you guys information on where the teams are going, how things are shaking up, the progression of the teams moving forward, and also, especially for the SAGU Esports, if every like, every share, every comment lets them know that you are engaged, that you are there for them. It encourages them, especially going into playoffs. I mean, that's a big deal. And we've even got a team or two that's actually undefeated.
Yeah.
And so having that confidence boost is really what would help them gain that momentum and gain that good step forward into the playoffs coming in a couple weeks. But make sure you guys comment. We are seeing your comments in Twitch and on YouTube. So if you guys have something you would like to say, please let us know, and we would like to interact with you guys. But hopefully we will be getting into this game one very, very quickly. We're going to be going to a short break. Stay tuned. We will be right back. You have been watching the SAGU Sports Network.
Gamer activated.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. All of the technical difficulties have been resolved, and we are going to hop into this game 1 of SAGU Lions versus Elmira Purple Call of Duty team. Now, think about Call of Duty. It's very fast-paced. It's very quick. And as we're in this first game, I'm going to do what I can to kind of explain what you're seeing on the screen here. So on the bottom left, that is what's known as the mini-map. That is where all the players are on the map all at the same time. So you can see who is where. Each number represents a player on the top left or the top right. And as you can see, those are all the players for both teams. You have Elmira Purple versus the SAGU Lions. And then in the middle, you have, it says CDL Hardpoint. And above that, there's a timer. There's another timer above that. And then there are 2 scores on the left and right. That is how many points each team has. Now, keep in mind, hardpoint is the first to 250. So the first team that gets to 250 will take the win. And right now, Elmira is taking a lead, getting 35 seconds up. And the SAGU Lions have yet to get a kill. The SAGU Lions are having a really hard time because Elmira is doing a great job at controlling the hardpoint right now. Oh, it seems like they were doing maybe some kind of network test or maybe something was going on there, but hopefully we will get into the actual game 1 because that looked to be some kind of test or performance work or something of that caliber. But wow, Elmira was hitting every single shot. The SAGU Lions, even just in that test, let's hope that they were just kind of running around and, you know.
It could have been a test, could have been, you know, maybe some issues with one of the teams or something. But either way, I mean, if that was any kind of serious gameplay by either team, then I think SAGU Lions caught a break there. Elmira was on their game.
Yeah, they were on point. They were hitting their shots.
Yeah. So you know, we'll get to see here, but you never know in esports. You know, it could have been a mistake or, you know, a test or whatever it was.
Yeah, and it looks like they are talking with the other team, making sure everything is settled and figured out. Now, for this ECAC week, we've seen a lot of competition. We've seen a lot of back and forth with play styles and growth, and I have been loving the growth from our Call of Duty SAGU Lions team. Starting in week 1, they were working together, they were fighting strong, but every now and then there would be some miscommunication. Maybe they wouldn't reach the timings they wanted to, they wouldn't hit the shots they wanted to, but each person on this SAGU Lions team, Aether, MW2, Ogden, and Angry Snow Bear, all kind of sitting into their roles, and it's been really cool to watch. I've been loving to see them kind of find their pace, find their groove, and mesh in that.
They really found a synergy together as the season went. You know, and they it's like in a game like this, when you have a team, you want to become friends, like true friends with your teammates, because whatever issues you have outside the game is going to come into the game. And as with the same, whatever good things you have with those people outside of the game is going to come into the game. Yeah. Sorry. And so, like, if you have those good relationships outside the game, it's going to make you an even better team in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, chemistry is a huge part of competition, and especially in a game like this where a lot of it is just mental focus, it's teamwork, it's communicating. Those elements really come into play. Yeah. But it seems like someone's screen was stuck on a black screen, so they weren't able to be in the game, but it looks like they were able to figure it out, or at least they are getting to the point where they are figuring it out. And yeah, we are hopping back into game 1 here, and both teams will be once again competing. And again, because these are pre-selected maps, we will be going back to the same map that we had been in before. Now, think about this map. I don't entirely remember what it's called, and that is on me. But I have played this a whole lot, and there are lots of really sneaky angles that both sides can kind of play at, no matter where you're looking and what direction you're coming from. This map is called Fortress, and it has a lot of elevation, lots of layers to it, so you have to check a whole lot of angles. There's all these little statues and things sitting in all these different corners. There's these weird doorways and kind of crooked hallways, and so there's a lot of hiding spots, and it's hard to get a groove there. But Elmira, Butter getting 2 kills, but Aether getting one of his own. And we're going to see what the SAGU Lions can do to maybe take the hard point from Elmira. Oh, and there we go. Aether with 3 now. Keeping Elmira on their toes, but Elmira are not giving up this point. And they're at 30 up on the SAGU Lions. And wow, Elmira doing a great job at hitting their shots and winning these 1 versus 1 gunfights. Those are very important, especially for a game like this. And now we have switched to a new hard point, and the SAGU Lions already there have secured it. Keeping it strong and getting points on the board. But Elmira pushing in, reclaiming it from the SAGU Lions, and the SAGU Lions trying to get a foothold here. And there's not a lot of room to work with right now. But the SAGU Lions recapturing the hard point. And now they've got 30 seconds to try and hold and get as many points as they can. Aether having 6 kills already. But same for Mr. Khalifa for Elmira. Looks like it's going back and forth quite a bit, and the SAGU Lions have evened up this game pretty well.
Yeah, SAGU's found themselves in a good spot, just despite the slow start that they had.
Yeah. Yeah, they're holding their own. They're bringing it back, making it worthwhile. And now the SAGU Lions have captured the next hard point as well. And now it's pretty close to an even game.
Yeah.
The SAGU Lions trying to hold it down, but Elmira closing in on the control point, or on the hard point. I apologize. And both teams are really struggling for gaining any kind of serious control, but Elmira getting some positioning here, forcing the SAGU Lions out. The SAGU Lions trying to get some ground here. Elmira not giving him any kind of movement, any kind of momentum.
Antio on a killing spree right now.
Yeah, yeah. Doing a really good job at staying alive. That's the thing about killing sprees. It's not necessarily about getting a bunch of kills. It's mostly about not dying.
Yeah.
Which is very impressive.
And which, the opposite of not dying is, killing them.
Getting more kills.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're getting more kills, they're dying more. But it's like how useful are you making those kills?
Yep.
Like is the team being able to play off them, or are you just getting random kills here and there?
Very true. And the SAGU Lions push onto the hard point. It seems like they might be able to get some control here. And the SAGU Lions trying to even it up. And Elmira pushing through and not able to counteract the SAGU Lions hold. Wow,
what a
great double kill by MW2 there. Holding down the fort. Wow, great long shot there by Angry Snowbear. And then next hard point has now opened up, and Elmira was already there, ready to go, locking it down. And see, that's a really important mechanic of this game, is being preemptive in going to, because the players can see where the next hard point is going to be before it's there, where it's going to move to.
Yeah.
So being preemptive, running out to the hard point, and wow, the SAGU Lions killing all 4 members of the Elmira team and pushing them off of the hard point, but Elmira rushing back on.
What you'll see a lot of the time is because you can see where the next hard point is when it gets close. Teams that have already basically lost this hard point, they'll just give up that 10 seconds of the hard point and go get ready at the next one. Yep. and be ready to defend it and get the points there.
Yeah, considering you've already lost the hard point that is being controlled by the opponent.
There's no reason to die more and maybe not get the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, planning ahead, being quick, working as a team. That's why communication is so important in a game like this. And Elmira's got a bit of a lead, but the SAGU Lions controlling this hard point. keeping it locked down, and Antio. Wow, Antio for Elmira was on a 5-kill spree.
We've seen a lot of gun skill here from Elmira.
Yeah.
They're playing this game very well, and they're very skilled too.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just smart, but it's also just good gameplay by them.
They're taking fights, they're taking smart fights, and they're winning. And they are getting out with their, even if it's only a little bit of life. I mean, it's any little bit of ground is better than nothing.
Yeah.
And Elmira controlling the next hard point, but this game is close. The SAGU Lions only down by about 40 points. Wow, great flick to rotate 180 degrees and aim behind him by Riz Khalifa. Great job. And the SAGU Lions have this control point and are holding it, locking it down. Wow, but Elmira not letting him keep it. Oh, but Aether doing a great job at not giving up the hard point, staying alive, stopping Elmira's push onto the hard point, and getting about another 10, 15 seconds.
SAGU is doing a very good job of just staying alive in this game right now, keeping the game close enough to you know, keep themselves in and have a chance to win it.
Yeah, absolutely. The SAGU Lions moving on to that next hard point. They've got control, and now they've closed it up to only a 15-point deficit. Great job by the SAGU Lions, keeping it close. But Elmira, oh wow, good double kill by Ogden. MW2 keeping control of this hard point. Oh, and wow. Lots of grenades being thrown. That's the thing about every single one of these game modes is that there is a specific zone that everyone is trying to get to.
Yeah.
So things like grenades that are explosive damage that hit an entire area are very, very strong.
Because you know where they are. If they're on hardpoint, you know exactly where they are.
Yeah.
Just talking about being on hardpoint, SAGU's now taking over a 15-point lead.
Wow. SAGU Lions bringing it back and now getting a leaf of their own. This is the first lead we've seen by the SAGU Lions. But Elmira waiting at the next hard point, trying to be preemptive, but now they're 25 points down. So the SAGU Lions getting a 25-point lead. And we'll see if Elmira is able to hold down this point here, and it looks like they are able to, showing great, what is sometimes referred to as gunfight hygiene, which is how well you are engaging in gunfights, how smart you are maneuvering and shooting, where you aim, how you aim. This is all referred to as gunfight hygiene, gunfight mechanics. And Elmira is not letting SAGU get any ground, but SAGU still keeping it close.
And if you notice, sometimes the attacking team, trying to take that hard point back or stop them on the hard point, is prioritizing getting on the hard point with them and trying to shoot.
Yeah.
Because if you're even there for 3 seconds before you die, that's 3 seconds you took away from them owning the hard point.
Yeah, and that's 3 points you've prevented the opponent from having.
Yes.
But Elmira's getting close. They only need 55 more points, and it looks like they've captured this next hard point. So it looks like they won't be able to win off of this hard point because the SAGU Lions have gained control.
Oh, wow.
And have locked it down. Wow, great double kill by Aether there. The SAGU Lions are keeping it close, keeping it even. Not letting it become too much of a gap in this first hardpoint game. Because you need 250 to win.
We're seeing some great gameplay or teamwork here by the SAGU Lions.
Yeah.
You know, covering each other's backs, watching each other's blind spots. But, you know, just sometimes, like, the other team just knows where you are because they do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, there's sometimes you can't beat it, but they're so far defending that last hard point, they were doing a great job covering each other.
Yeah. They were. And now we're seeing Elmira gaining control of this hard point towards the bottom of the map, and Elmira only needs about 35 more points, and they could win it. If the SAGU Lions can't get in there and gain control of this hard point, then that looks like it's going to be this Game 1 win for Elmira. Wow, but Aether getting a double kill, allowing the SAGU Lions to gain control and stop Elmira from winning off of this hard point, keeping it even, keeping it close. And it looks like Elmira is going to try and preemptively rotate to the next hard point.
This is still anybody's game right now.
This is very, very close. SAGU Lions keeping it within reason. And now we're on the next hard point. The SAGU Lions have control. And the SAGU Lions could win it here if they can keep Elmira off of this hard point.
What a kill.
Great kill. Great positioning by Ogden. Elmira rushing in. It's now an even game. Wow, being preemptive, not letting Elmira get any kind of lead here. And the SAGU Lions trying to lock it down, but Elmira getting control of the hard point. And they only need about 10 more points to win. And we'll see if the SAGU Lions can stop it, and these grenades are really coming in handy here. The SAGU Lions trying to hold it, but Elmira getting the double kill. Now there's only about 10 seconds left. The SAGU Lions have to do something. Oh, it looks like Elmira won't be able to win off of that hard point. And the SAGU Lions gain control of the next one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, but Elmira stopping the SAGU Lions and force them off. And you can see the frustration on the SAGU Lions. It was very, very close. It was anybody's game, especially at the end there. That was really smart to keep them from winning off that previous hard point. But then Elmira winning those one-on-one gunfights. I mean, wow. Antio and Butter going over 30 kills. But, I mean, the same is for Aether and MW2 as well. Both of them getting 30 kills equally. And, you know, looking at these replays here, we're seeing really good communication, really good gunplay. Great double kill there by Aether. And both teams just playing really smart, playing really aggressive, and pushing their leads forward.
Yeah, and you know these teams they all play similar. You know this is high level gameplay for Call of Duty. You know, so with them all playing similar like they are, they all know how each other play. You know, that's why you see before they even actually know where the other person is, they jump through a door, turn on them immediately because that's where they would sit. You know, so to be able to have that kind of expectation going into these gunfights, it's just about, you know, who has the upper hand on the angles and whatnot. But it was a very well fought game from both teams. You know, Elmira went up early, SAGU fought back, but it just wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough, and Elmira securing the Game 1 win on the first map of Fortress in the game mode hardpoint. And we are going to go into Game 2 shortly. This is going to be Search and Destroy. Now, just to reiterate from previously, Search and Destroy is a lot like games like Valorant, like Counter-Strike, and other games like that where you have two sites where the attacking team has an explosive and they are trying to plant the explosive, or well, they're trying to arm the explosive, or we call it planting the bomb on one of the two bomb sites. Now the thing about the defending team is they are trying to prevent the attacking team from planting said explosive. And if the attacking team is able to plant that explosive, then it is the job of the defending team to defuse the explosive and stop it from going off. Now, if either team is able to eliminate all of the players on the opposing team, they win. Because in every other game mode, the players are constantly respawning throughout the game. But Search and Destroy is different because it's played over a series of what could be at most 11 rounds, because it's the first team to win 6 rounds. At most 11 rounds. Each round, when you die, you're done. You're out for that round. You can't. There are no respawns in each round.
Yeah.
And so you can be in a situation where numbers advantage plays an important part, where you can have 2 alive on your team, 1 on the enemy team, or the enemy team has 3 alive and it's just you by yourself. That's a very stressful situation. Is having a numbers advantage is really, really great for momentum. Having a numbers disadvantage is really detrimental. And that will be a huge part of this next Search and Destroy Game 2.
Yeah, and you see a lot of search and destroy games, the strategy isn't always to plant the bomb. You know, I would say more times than not, the strategy is to eliminate the whole other team rather than plant the bomb as well. But it's turned into almost like the bomb is your next option, you know, or it's like if you have the area already covered, you know, taken, all right, let's go ahead and let's plant anyways.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I would say this comes down to, you know, playing smart, not dying, you know, and getting kills. Because if you die, you're leaving your team at a disadvantage. And so, like, not dying but getting kills. And if you die, also, like, if you're up where you have 4 players left, the other team has 2, you feel you have this almost like confidence boost in that round.
Yeah.
You know, so if you don't die, then you're keeping the other team from gaining that kind of confidence boost.
Yeah. Yeah, and the last match being such a good match. Hopefully, this next one, I believe it's going to be just as much as of a fist fight. And we're going to see what the SAGU Lions can do to overcome this Elmira aggression. Now, the thing about Elmira, I apologize. The thing about this next map is that the SAGU Lions know this map very, very well. It is referred to as Embassy. And Embassy is... allows for lots of coordinated teamwork. It allows for lots of gunplay. And both teams being proficient in this is one of specifically SAGU Lions' strengths. And playing in a game where numbers is a huge thing, for them to work together, to secure kills, to gain a numbers advantage, and to carry that momentum from round to round, that's going to be very, very important. And hopefully the SAGU Lions being able to even it up 1-to-1, we'll see very shortly. And I mean, Aether just doing a great job at getting these aggressive kills where he's pushing forward, no hesitation. Hopefully we can see this even in the next match, because the thing that will happen is a lot of players will, knowing they're in Search and Destroy, to where if they could die that they're out, they'll play a lot more passive and a lot more laid back. But a lot of times players will get rewarded for being aggressive in Search and Destroy because everyone else is playing so passive and almost scared. You know, being aggressive, being on the offensive, and kind of getting in their face and pressuring them can actually prove its merit most of the time.
Yeah. And, you know, like you said, this is coming up on Embassy. This is a map that the SAGU Lions are so good at. They've won 60% of their games in this map. And, you know, when you know a map that well, it's like you're playing in your home. You know, it's like it's not just a building, you know your way around. But if you play hide and go seek in your house and your friend's playing with you, there's going to be hiding spots you know that he doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, and so coming through, they just know this map so well. It's literally like home field advantage. It's literally like playing in your house.
Yeah. Are we trying to say that Call of Duty is a very elaborate competitive game of hide and seek?
Yeah, hide and seek with weapons.
That's good. Yeah, with guns where you kill the opponent. Yes,
yes.
Absolutely. And hopefully in this game too, we will see the same kind of gameplay for both these teams. I'm really excited. They both did a really good job at securing their advantages, playing to their strengths, making up for each other's weaknesses, and just playing smart. We're seeing lots of smart gameplay, and I like it. I like seeing these teams communicate with each other. And, I mean, the SAGU Lions have a right to be upset in that last game. It was so close, and they played so well. And we'll see if they can take that grit, that determination of really wanting to win in that last game, and they can carry it into this game too.
And what I would like to see this game from specifically Angry Snowbear, I would love to see him just die less, because he's doing good, but you know, like I said before, his role isn't to get kills, but he can't be there and be that supportive role for his team if he is respawning, you know, if he's waiting to come back, or if he's running from the spawn to wherever they're going, you know. And so, or specifically in Search and Destroy, you don't respawn, you know. So like if he can keep himself in the game, I think that's a big key for the SAGU Lions going into this.
I agree. And that component of pressure is even elevated even more in Search and Destroy because the attacking team with the explosive has around, I believe it's a minute and a half, a minute 40 seconds, close to, where a minute and a half the attacking team has to plant or arm the explosive. Now, once the explosive is armed, the attacking team now becomes the defending team.
Oh, yeah.
And they have to prevent what was the defending team from disarming the explosive.
Yeah.
Which that makes the defending team now the attackers and those on offense. And that's a thing about once you plant the bomb, there's only 40 seconds.
Yeah.
You have 45 seconds to defuse that explosive and get the win. And that puts a lot of pressure on the opposing team.
Yeah. And, you know, if you're the defending team and a team does plant, that's almost an opportunity sometimes. Because anyone that plays a lot of Search and Destroy, plays a lot of Call of Duty, has seen times where you have a crazy 4-1 lead in players and you plant the bomb, but then that one guy just kind of sneaks in and gets the defuse without anyone knowing, you know, and they win the round. And it didn't matter that no one else in the other team died.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, with that being just like you said, once you plant the bomb, you're now the defending team.
Yeah.
You know, you have to defend that bomb with your life.
Yeah.
So.
And Call of Duty is actually a very defensive-based game. If you can hold a position and keep things secured and hold angles, that's a really big part of these kinds of games. It looks to be that maybe they were having some more technical difficulties, and they will figure this out in just a few moments. But this being very defensively favored, what are some strategies that the SAGU Lions need to be thinking about, as you were saying, Angry Snow Bear not dying? Very pivotal and important. And don't get us wrong here. That sounds easy.
Yeah.
But like when there's 4 enemies running at you all at the same time, they're all shooting at angles that it's hard to cover. That's more difficult than it sounds, especially in the heat of the moment. So what are some strategies SAGU Lions can use to execute this Search and Destroy?
And like you said, not dying, you know, that can sound like it's oversimplifying it, but a lot of times you do want to simplify what you're trying to do. You don't want it to be too complicated.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to look too deep into the game. Like, simplify it, make it easy on yourself, but also understand what you're doing, understand what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, but I think the biggest thing is, you know, when you're defending, know what angles to hold angles, right?
Yeah.
They're like you said, this is a very defensive game. If you're holding angles, you're making them peak the exact spot you're already ready for them to come through, you know. And whereas if you're the guy peeking, then you're peeking in a spot they're already aiming at, and you're at a disadvantage already. And so I think when they're attacking, I would say, you know, be strategic and go for the flanks, right? Like, you have to bring at least one guy through where they're expecting. That way it draws their attention. But you got to get guys from behind, or else you're not going to get any defenders in this game.
Yeah, I agree. This is a lot of strategy. A lot of strategy goes into Call of Duty as a whole, but especially Search and Destroy, just because there is so many things you have to be thinking about. There is the pressure of time. There's the pressure of how many teammates are on the board. And for the SAGU Lions to cover each other's blind spots, cover the angles, playing aggressive but still not risking too much, I think is that sweet. That's a really small tightrope.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what is healthy aggression and what is healthy passive play? You know, where's that middle ground where we can still get the edge on the opponent, but also making sure we're not playing too far back?
Oh, yeah. And, you know, and like you see that in every game too, you know? So it's just like I said before, I play a lot of Rocket League, so I play for the school. It's the same thing in Rocket League. You know, if all 3 of you are up on offense, sometimes that's good because it turns into a goal. But if they would have saved it, now it's bad because there's no one back on defense, no one ready to defend whatever they got coming. It's the same thing here. You know, don't be too aggressive, but be aggressive. You want to be aggressive, right? Yeah. But if you're too aggressive, you're just going to get caught up and you're going to just lose the round. You know, for either team, because both teams are too good to lose to that.
Both teams are solid. The small, simple mistakes you can't really get away with anymore. Yeah, and that's all. That's what it's about: finding the other team's mistakes and exploiting them. Yeah, absolutely. Any little crack in their plan can lead to a huge win from either side. But now it looks like we are going to officially be getting into this game 2 after resolving all the technical difficulties going on. And we will see what the SAGU Lions can do against this Elmira offense, aggressive gunfight gameplay. They hit their shots. They know where their angles need to be and how to fight. But the SAGU Lions are no slackers.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what we get from Elmira here, because they're such an aggressive team. We saw that game 1 in Hardpoint, and sometimes that just doesn't work in Search and Destroy. You know, so I would like to see how that translates into this game mode.
Yeah, and right now Elmira getting a kill onto MW2, but Ogden almost getting a second, but getting picked off by Antio. I believe that's just Anti. I believe the O is a 0. But getting picked off by Anti. And now it is a 4 vs 3 situation. Aether getting a kill, but dying himself. It is a 2 vs 1 scenario. Angry Snow Bear. Oh. Man. Oh, also keep in mind, the players are not able to see these highlighted outlines of the enemy team. But we, as the spectators, are able to see that. So Angry Snow Bear did not know he was there.
Yeah.
So him dropping down off of that ledge, thinking he was safe. Yeah. It is a completely different game plan, considering they can't see what we are able to see here.
Yeah. And it's easy from this point of view to say, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. But they're not seeing what we see, you know? Yeah. And so it's a whole different scenario to be in that circumstance.
Yeah, they're having to make split-second decisions with very limited information, and information's a huge part in this game.
Oh yeah,
you know, and that's why communicating is important. If you know where an enemy, if you know where the opponent is, you got to communicate with your team so that you can all capitalize on where they are. The SAGU Lions now fighting on offense, I believe. Yes, SAGU bomb planted at B, and now Elmira's having to run towards that B bomb site to try and defuse it. Oh, wow. Great pistol kill by Ogden there. Oh, and almost getting a second. Wow, great repeat by MW2. And now it's a 3 vs 1 situation. Tux is the only one alive for Elmira, and he's got to run in and try and maybe get this, but he gets a kill on MW2. Oh, but great positioning by the SAGU Lions, getting the second round. It is now 1-1.
Yeah, and like you saw when Ogden was staring at that door, and we knew that guy was on the other side. He didn't know, but at the same time, he knew he was in that building. You know, and he knew, like, if he was playing there, he was going to come out of that door. So that's why he's camping and watching that door. Yeah. It's just unfortunate. You like when you're that guy and you know there's someone there and they come through and you don't get the kill. Oh, that's so aggravating.
So frustrating.
Yes.
Especially having been there, being ready, and then the opponent getting some edge.
Yes.
But now the SAGU Lions going in 1-1. Elmira fighting on offense to try and plant the explosive. The SAGU Lions are trying to defend those bomb sites. It looks like Elmira is going to go for an early plant, but he wasn't ready for the SAGU Lions push. And wow, it's a 1 vs 3 scenario. The SAGU Lions getting a huge lead in this round 3.
And now SAGU knows where the bomb is as well.
And Elmira has to get the bomb if they want to win. So the main objective here is to just cover where the bomb is and wait for Butter to push and see if they can catch him out in the open. It looks like Butter's running around the back towards A, if you see on the mini-map at the bottom left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to play safe and smart. Oh, almost getting a pick on a MW2, but now the SAGU Lions know where he is. Oh, and MW2 getting the kill.
Yeah.
Great job by MW2 there.
Yeah. And, you know, Butter, he was doing a good job, but his teammates were just gone.
Yeah.
You know, and when your teammates are gone like that and you're already caught out, it's very unfortunate, and very few people are able to get out of that situation.
Yeah. When it's in a 3 vs 1 situation or even a 2 vs 1 situation, when you're by yourself, the enemy not knowing where you are is so important.
Oh, yeah.
That is the only advantage you have at that moment. And so it was unfortunate there.
Unless you're just better than anyone else in the lobby.
Unless your aim is just unbelievable.
Yeah, like that's the only advantage you have is them not knowing where you are.
Yeah. But SAGU Lions going up around here. We'll see if they can keep this momentum moving forward. And they are playing on offense. They're Ogden gonna go ahead and plant that explosive onto the B site. And Aether protecting Ogden as he plants.
Only one left for Elmira here.
Wow, the SAGU Lions are not letting Elmira get any kind of lead. And Elmira doing what they can to maybe try and defuse this, but Khalifa on his own Wow, great crossfire by the SAGU Lions, and they are running away with this, going up 3-1. And now this is different from Valorant, to where in Valorant, if both teams are at the cusp of winning the round, they have to keep playing until one team wins by 2.
Yeah.
This is not like that. The first team to win 6 rounds is the winner.
And I mean, this, I think not only is this SAGU Lions' best map, but I also believe that this is their best game mode.
Yeah.
You know, and so this is more than home field advantage. This is just their strength all around, in my opinion. And so I think that's why you're seeing a 3-1 lead here for SAGU.
Yeah. And SAGU Lions trading 1-for-1 with Elmira, but wow, Aether getting a kill onto Anti, I believe. And now it's just Snow Bear, Angry Snow Bear versus Butter and Tux, but Snow Bear getting a kill. But great positioning. Great positioning by the Elmira player there to watch that angle. See, that is what we refer to as trading, where you have two players looking at the same angle, so that if the opponent comes rushing out, even if you die, your teammate is there to secure the kill. And that's why numbers advantage is so important.
Yeah.
Because if there's only one of them, even if they kill you, you have a teammate to kill them and win the round.
Yeah, and you saw Angry Snowbear here after this kill. He ran up to the window ready to shoot the guy on the bomb because he was sure he was planting.
Yeah.
But then he wasn't, and that's what caught him off.
Yeah. But SAGU Lions still with the lead, but Elmira not out of the game yet. Closing up the gap. It is now 2-3. And both teams playing smart, playing defensive. Ogden is going to go for the bomb plan, and great kill by Anti. And MW2 getting a kill onto Khalifa, but Tux trading, but Ogden getting a kill of his own. It is just back and forth here. Now it's a 2-versus-2 situation. Oh, but Ogden getting a second kill here.
What a vital kill for SAGU Lions.
Yeah, now it's a 2-versus-1. They have the numbers advantage. That's huge.
You guys remember they do not know where Butter is right now.
Yeah, we can see him on the mini-map. He's running around the B site. And it looks like the bomb has already been planted, so he has 7 seconds to try and defuse it. He's going to run and go for it. Oh, but Ogden ready to go.
I mean, yeah, Butter had only one option. SAGU Lions knew that. All they had to do was hold that one option that he had. So.
And that's the thing about planting the bomb and then playing defensively. The opponent has to defuse. The opponent can't win just by killing the opposing team. They have to defuse the bomb, and that is the only way to win. And there is a time limit on how long it takes you to defuse the bomb.
Yeah.
And so even if you kill both opponents, if there's not enough time, you will lose.
Yeah, it takes at least a few seconds, you know, to get that defuse off.
I believe it's 3.5 seconds to 4 seconds.
Yeah, that seems about right. I don't know the exact time, but from playing the game, I know the frustration of not having enough time. Yeah, so.
And it feels like an eternity.
Yes.
But wow, Elmira getting real momentum here. And the SAGU Lions, it's now a 1-versus-4. And that is a tough situation to be in. Because when you are in a 1-versus-4 situation, everywhere is dangerous.
Yes.
So even if there's nobody in that room, you have to treat it like everyone is in that room.
Yeah. And as you saw, he did what I said earlier. He was certain, like, if he was in that room, he was going to be to the left, but he wasn't. And you know,
playing an off angle, playing a non-standard position.
Yeah.
And great job by Elmira to secure that round, keeping it even. SAGU Lions still have a lead, but Elmira's not out of this yet. They are fighting tooth and nail. They want to try and get a 3-0 sweep. But the SAGU Lions, they want to win here.
Yeah. I think SAGU's going to try to go for a fast plant again.
MW2 getting an early kill.
Ogden has the bomb.
Oh,
it's unfortunate.
SAGU Lions getting more kills on Elmira. Aether is going to go for the bomb plant. Oh, Angry Snow Bear gets taken out. But MW2 trading the kill. And now it's a 2-versus-1 situation, and the SAGU Lions have planted the bomb. This is a great position to be in for the SAGU Lions. But Riz Khalifa getting the kill. It's now a 1-versus-1.
Aether's got to hold out at least another 20 seconds here to be able to win this round. He has no clue where he is.
And Aether's playing safe, playing patient. He knows that he's got to be running up soon. Oh, and unfortunately he was looking in the wrong direction. And Khalifa's going to get the defuse.
Yeah. He's going to have about a second left.
Oh, I think that's about 6 seconds.
Yeah, that's a long
that is a long defuse, but great job by Khalifa there to get that defuse, and now it's 4-4. They have evened up this game 2 search and destroy.
That was
6.5 seconds, I'm being told, to defuse the bomb. That's a long defuse time. Golly.
Yes. Yeah, that's insanely long, but I mean,
when the entire countdown is only 45 seconds, that's like more than a tenth of that time.
Yes.
Like, that's really fast.
That's incredibly long. But I mean
yes, that's very, very long.
Yeah, he got it off though, and not only did he get the defuse off, but he clutched the 1v2 situation, which is an incredibly hard thing to do at this level of gameplay.
Yeah. Both teams playing at a very high level. And we'll see what the SAGU Lions can do to stop this. Elmira offense, very strong. They know how to play.
It looks like Elmira is trying to take their time to plant.
Yeah, they're being very patient here.
Oh, they're trying to push to A, it looks like. Which everyone's gone B so far. That might be the strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, B seems like a safer, more consistent option, but Elmira making it a 4 versus 3. Oh, and Aether not able to get the kill. There were 2 of them there, and his focus was split. Oh, and Ogden barely getting away.
They're planting on A.
Now it's just Angry Snow Bear getting a kill. Oh, and it not being enough. Elmira wins that round, and if Elmira wins the next one, they'll take game 2.
Yeah, so SAGU's got to win 2 straight here to be able to take this win.
They have to win the next 2 rounds. And we'll see what the SAGU Lions can do against this Elmira gameplay. They're playing patient, and I think it's catching the SAGU Lions off guard because the first handful of rounds, they were rushing in, they were playing really aggressive, and they were getting picked off pretty quickly. Yeah. But now they're playing smart.
But we'll see here. I think SAGU's more comfortable when they're the team planting. They're the attacking team. But we'll see what happens here with what strategy they might go with.
Yeah, B is usually the preferred choice because B is a lot closer, and most times it's a lot easier to take ground on B because you can set up a crossfire there in the adjacent building, which can be really strong for the attacking team.
Yes, I think B is an easier bomb to defend once you plant it.
Wow, great kill by MW2 there. And now it's a 3 versus 2 scenario. Oh, and Angry Snow Bear getting the kill onto Tux.
It's a 3v1, a 3 versus 1.
It is a 3 versus 1 scenario. Khalifa's all on his own here. Oh, but Khalifa getting the kill onto MW2. Closing the gap. See, when you are all alone and there's multiple opponents, the strategy is to take isolated fights. Because the last thing you want to do is fight in a 2 versus 1 gunfight.
Yeah.
But if you can keep creating these 1 versus 1 scenarios, that really helps
Khalifa looks like he's going to try to come up behind him.
Oh, and he came up.
Oh, man.
Came up behind Angry Snow Bear there, and now it's a 1 versus 1. As I was saying, those 1v1 fights. That's what you want. And we'll see what Khalifa can do here, playing patient. And Aether playing patient himself, not getting too aggressive.
Yeah, he's just got to defend here another 10 seconds.
And Aether playing time, playing really smart, not getting overzealous.
Yep.
Making Khalifa push him. And now even if Aether dies here, wow, great knife kill by Aether. And that was really smart by Aether. That is what is known as playing time, where Aether, it looks like he's completely avoiding the gunfight, but that's because they already have the bomb planted.
Yeah.
Even if Khalifa got the kill into Aether, he wouldn't have enough time to defuse it.
He would have had to start the defuse, like we said, with 6.5 seconds still left.
Yeah.
And once it got down to 10 seconds, Aether just had to get away and make sure he wasn't going to that diffuser or the bomb.
And even if he was going to the bomb, Aether was in a great position to get the kill.
Yes.
And so I think at that point, Khalifa was just trying to push his score.
And when you're defusing, you're sitting still.
Yeah.
You can't defend yourself. So if they know you're defusing.
Yeah. And wow, looks like they are trying to go towards the B site once again, and this is a pivotal moment for both teams. Whoever wins this round will take this game 2 win.
Oh,
and Ogden getting picked off. It's now a 4 versus 2 situation. MW2 and Angry Snowbear, but MW2 getting a kill. Evening it out. Oh, but now it's a 3 versus 1. Angry Snowbear having died. Now we'll see if MW2 can clutch this out. Using that ability allows him to move silently. It's very, very strong, especially to conceal your information, but he fired, so now the opposing team knows where he is. And MW2, getting 1 kill. He has 15 seconds to either kill the other 2 players. He's got 7 seconds here. And it looks like the SAGU Lions are not going to be able to get the win here. And Elmira Purple securing that game 2. And now the SAGU Lions have to win the next 3 games.
Yeah.
They can't lose a single game because Elmira right now is up 2-0. They won Hardpoint. They won Search and Destroy. And now if they win Control, that's it. But here we see MW2 getting 11 kills, doing a really good job. But it didn't look like a single person on Elmira was slacking. They were all doing a really good job at playing off of each other.
I think Elmira was very even with the distribution of kills and the output that they had as individuals. You know, it was a very evenly matched team, I guess. But man, for Elmira to come back, because if you remember, SAGU Lions took a 3-1 lead. And so for them to come back from that, that's incredible. Yeah,
that is incredible. And Elmira, very good team. They know how to stay in the zone. They know how to keep the game going because the mentality of everything, momentum is such a huge part where if you're down on rounds, if you're behind, it's really easy to get discouraged and be like, oh, there's no point. But Elmira said, no, we got this. We've played these games. We've played these matches. We know how to fight. Let's play smart. Let's play patient. And they brought it back. I think, them winning those 3 rounds in a row, evening it up 4-4, and then getting the ultimate game 2 win here on Search and Destroy just shows that how good these teams are and how badly they want to win this and go into the playoffs with that season-ending win. The SAGU Lions want it as well. They don't want to give this up.
And it looks like on Elmira, from the 2 games we watched now, from my point of view, it looks like Tux and Anti are the ones with the more gun skill, going to be your top fraggers usually. And it looks like Butter and Khalifa are the ones that are the team players, like what I said about Angry Snowbear. You know, they're there to support. They are there to basically not die and put out some kills. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were multiple times in this Search and Destroy match that I saw Tux just have some crazy flick. He came into a door. He was at a disadvantage from the start and got the kill. Yeah. So.
And I mean, here we're seeing this really good play by Aether, playing time, not allowing Elmira to get the win here in this round, and playing smart. See, as of right there, he had already won. I think Khalifa was just trying to get the kill to maybe push his score up a little bit. But the SAGU Lions, unfortunately, were unable to secure this game 2 win, and Elmira showing to be a very worthy, very strong contender in the ECAC Division B for the Call of Duty League. And we'll see what the SAGU Lions can do here. They were playing smart. I think one thing I would like to see a little more is maybe trading kills. It seems like the SAGU Lions are trying to take 1v1 gunfights a lot.
Yeah.
And it's starting to hurt them because Elmira, they've got really good doubling up on angles where you have 2 players holding the same spot. And so even if one of them dies, they can trade the kill and keep the numbers even. And that's really smart gameplay in these kinds of games. And so I think if the SAGU Lions can hold their own, can be 2, 3 at a time, pushing together, holding the same angles. I think we'll start to see some real momentum, real gunfights here. But the SAGU Lions, it's do or die. This is the last week of the ECAC.
Yeah, like you said, SAGU needs more teamwork. They need to come together. They need at least 2 pushing together at a time.
Yeah.
You know, because like you said, they're trying to get the 1v1 situations but if you're pushing together, if you catch one of them, even if he kills you, you still get, or your teammate gets the kill. But you know, they're trying to get these 1v1 situations. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. And that's the problem with it sometimes not working out is now you're at a numbers disadvantage.
Yeah.
And so, especially when you're at a numbers disadvantage, it is so important to trade kills, to try and even out the numbers as best as you can.
Yeah, that's why I think a lot of the time we saw Angry Snow Bear or maybe Aether or whoever would be just caught out last guy. You know, it's hard to have a last guy situation if you're pushing in 2s.
Yeah.
So.
And now we are going to get into Game 3. This is the control game mode. Now, it looks like the SAGU Lions are starting on offense, where their objective is to try and capture the 2 zones that you see in front of you. And the thing about control is that, firstly, you have a certain amount of lives or respawns amongst your team. There are 30 lives amongst your team, and once you run out of lives, that's it. That's game over, no matter whether you've controlled it or not. And it looks like the SAGU Lions are going to go ahead and actually control A early on, so now it's going to be a contest to control B, which a lot of times that's what you'll see in this competitive play.
Yeah, that's a fast control of A. I'm surprised there's not more Elmira players on B right now.
Yeah.
Because they know that's where SAGU is headed.
Yeah, that's what they want. That's the one place that everyone's wanting to go right now. And Angry Snow Bear getting a kill onto the site. And the SAGU Lions are starting to capture this point. But Elmira's not letting them get it for free. They're holding their own. The SAGU Lions are down 23 lives. Elmira down 22. So both teams have about 20 lives left. 20
I would like
respawns.
to see. This is where I would like to see the SAGU Lions push together and attack as a team. You want to take out the Elmira players and then start taking controlling the point.
Yeah, I agree. And here the SAGU Lions are controlling the point. Now, if you look at the top middle there, you will see the B symbol. And you see there are these 3 areas. Oh, it looks like Ogden is going... it looks like all the SAGU Lions are going to be resetting. So the reason why the SAGU Lions threw grenades at their feet and killed themselves is that allows them to reset, respawn in the same location, and push together. Yeah. Because when you're caught out alone individually, that can be really hard to fight. And even though you're going to lose some respawns, you're going to lose some lives, pushing together a lot of times will prove more fruitful, especially because the SAGU Lions have already controlled 1/3 of B. Because once you hit those certain checkpoints on controlling the point, it stops at that point, so you don't have to go as far. And now the SAGU Lions have hit the 2nd point, and it looks like they're about to get the 3rd. And the SAGU Lions take round 1. Great job by the SAGU Lions to push together. See, and that's what I was mentioning about pushing together, them losing those lives and resetting. I think that was really important, and that helped them stay ahead.
Yeah, that was a good strategy. You know, it's almost like a worthy sacrifice to be able to take those lives away from your team, but to be able to come together as a team, push together, just like we said. You know, push together, take out the Elmira team from the point, and then take the point.
Yeah. And now we have swapped. The Elmira purple team is now attacking, trying to gain control of those points. And the SAGU Lions are hoping to defend them. Now it looks like the SAGU Lions are splitting up and going for a 3-2, 3 on A, 1 on B. Well, it looks like they're all going to focus their attention on A for the most part to hold A. But Elmira's not trying to control B right now. It looks like Elmira's trying to control A.
Yeah.
And everyone is congregating there.
Which, you know, usually you see teams go to B first. Or, you know, but Elmira's trying to take A.
Oh, but the SAGU Lions stopping them.
Oh, they're taking B as well.
Yeah, they're trying to do both at the same time. But the SAGU Lions are resetting the control onto A, reducing it back down. But Elmira are gaining control on B. And the SAGU Lions have to either try and stop that, and it looks like we're going to see some kills coming out by MW2, a double kill there.
Yeah.
To stop this B control.
And we have to remember that we see that minute and 1 second up there. The clock stops when the offensive team is taking one of the spots.
Yeah.
And so that clock is your friend. If you're SAGU, you're trying to keep them off the spot so the clock can run down and you win.
Yeah. Yeah. There are so many factors. There are so many win conditions, so many lose conditions for both teams. And right now, Elmira's down to 17 lives, whereas the SAGU Lions have 23. They've got quite a lead here.
Yeah. It's a very good situation for SAGU. You want to play a little passive, probably. Save your lives, take their lives, but also let them run down some clock here.
Yeah. And it looks like they are going to hard commit to this A control, but they're also on B. Elmira securing A site, and the SAGU Lions once again are going to reset their lives, get respawns back, and now it looks like the SAGU Lions have pretty solid control of B. And they're stopping Elmira from getting any kind of ground here. Wow, Angry Snowbear with 11 kills.
That's an impressive showing so far this game by Angry Snowbear.
Yeah. And now we're at a point where it's down to one focal point. All they have is the B control site with two checkpoints left, two sections of controlling B left. And Elmira have to go for it here. Oh, great knife kill by Khalifa there. SAGU Lions are still holding B and keeping Elmira from getting any kind of push here. Elmira trying to rush onto the point.
Only 10 or 9 and 12 lives left now.
Yeah.
8 and 12. So, this is getting down to the end here, the nitty gritty, and we're going to see who can come out with this.
Yeah, and I believe this is played in a best of 3. So best 2 out of 3. So if the SAGU Lions win this game, win this round, they win this game 3 and keep themselves in this ECAC Week 8 match.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
I believe it's best 2 out of 3. But Elmira only has 6 respawns, and it seems that I was incorrect. It's a best of 5. So SAGU Lions stopping Elmira, and they only have 2 respawns. It's Tux and Khalifa left.
Yeah. And remember, when that lives number hits 0, they're still alive. They can still fight, but they can't respawn anymore.
Oh, no. I believe that now with 1 respawn, 1 alive, it's just Tux. I don't believe there's any more respawns left.
Oh, wow.
So once you hit 4 respawns.
You're right.
Oh, and there goes SAGU Lions running down the clock and getting the second round win. The SAGU Lions doing a really good job at holding this control game mode.
And control is a hard game to defend.
Yeah.
So to be able to pull out that defensive win is a huge win for SAGU Lions right now.
Yeah, very well played by the SAGU Lions. Playing strong, fighting strong. And we are going to go into this next round. And now if the SAGU Lions win this, it'll put it at 2-1. SAGU Lions will still be in a deficit, but all right, we'll see what they are able to do here. And in the history of the SAGU Lions on control, they have yet to lose a round 3 on control after going up 2-0. So this is very much swinging in the SAGU Lions' favor. Elmira have quite the hurdle to climb, especially with the SAGU Lions now getting solid control of B and having the first checkpoint already secured.
Yeah,
going towards the second.
With this being a best of 5, Elmira is now looking at needing to take the rest of the rounds of this game of control.
Yeah, now they have to win the next 3 rounds if they want to win it. And we're seeing SAGU Lions MW2 resetting his respawn point so that he's with his team. And now the SAGU Lions have secured B. The only control point left is A. If the SAGU Lions can all push together, get some kills, but also Elmira only has to worry about defending one site.
Yeah.
Both teams can now focus their attention.
And once again, SAGU's up in live, so also if they can just get the kills, that's another way to win this round for them.
Absolutely. Up 3 lives. Oh, but Elmira stopping the SAGU momentum, resetting the life count. The SAGU Lions, we're seeing Aether with 19 kills, Angry Snowbear with 16. showing such a strong performance here in this control game mode.
Yeah, I would love to see this be the time when SAGU pushes together as a team.
Yeah, this is when you want to start going for the 2v2 gunfights. You want to keep playing smart. Don't let Elmira get any kind of momentum here. Wow, and the SAGU Lions are struggling to gain control of this point here. They're getting pushed out. Oh, but it looks like SAGU Lions are on the point. They're on the control point, but Anti getting a double kill here.
Yeah. And then they reset it and set. Remember, SAGU's gonna have to watch this clock. They have to get on the point to make that clock stop, so they don't run out of time.
Oh wow, Ogden with the double kill, clearing out A, gaining some map control. Oh, almost getting a triple kill there. And it looks like he's going to move off the point to safety. Oh, but Aether clearing all the angles and all the back rooms. And now the SAGU Lions have full control of this A position.
They're taking A very fast right now.
Oh, and the SAGU Lions are about to have it. Elmira's got to get on it. It looks like Elmira wasn't able to rush. And now the SAGU Lions win the control game mode. It is now 2-1. With Elmira still up. 1 round. SAGU Lions are not out of it yet.
Yeah, and Elmira defended that A point for so long, and you saw how fast the game could just turn, and how fast SAGU just took that A point to win the round.
Absolutely. Wow, 24 kills by Aether and only 8 deaths. That's crazy. Incredible. That is so strong to not only have the amount of kills that he had, but to have so few deaths. So well played by Aether, playing really strong.
We saw MW2 had low kills but high assists, and Angry Snowbear having high kills and low assists. That's like really swapped from what they usually do. So that it was kind of cool to see them play different roles as they needed with the team.
Yeah, and the SAGU Lions are trading kills more often. They're covering the angles. They're pushing in teams of 2. They're setting up crossfires, which is essentially a flank, and setting them up very wisely and strategically. This is the kind of gameplay we want to see out of the SAGU Lions, and now we're going to get into Hardpoint. It's a more fast-paced mode of control, and now we are going to go back to Embassy, but now for Hardpoint. And as we said, Embassy is a really strong map for the SAGU Lions.
Yeah. And even though they lost that last round, let's not forget they went up 3-1. And if they can have that kind of start again and keep that momentum going, then they can definitely come away with this win on Embassy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that would even it out 2 versus 2, and we might see a game 5 here.
Yeah.
But that all depends on the SAGU Lions and whether they are able to play to each other's strengths, hold their angles, fight smart, and work together, communicate. And Elmira, if they win this next game, that will be the Week 8 win for the Elmira Purple team. But the SAGU Lions, they don't want to end it off on a loss. And they have it in them. Yeah. Both teams have it in them to win. This is a very, very close game. This is exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Very hard fought. And hopefully soon we will be going into the game 4. And it'll have to be a reverse sweep.
Yeah.
They won that first. They won all 3 rounds of control. They won the game 3. Now they have to win the next 2 games. 3 games in a row.
And you see this often in this level of competition. When a team goes up 2-0, like Elmira did in the series, it paints a different picture than what it actually is. Because what it actually is that, you know, there were 2 close games, and Elmira came away the victor of those games. Yeah. But the picture it kind of paints when you see that 2-0 lead is that Elmira is just doing whatever they want to SAGU, and that's not the case. So, you know, that's why when we see teams go up 2-0 or 3-0, depending on the game you play and the series, how long it is, we forget that the other team is just as good, and these games are really close, and that's why they're able to maybe make that comeback.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more than just they absolutely won and the other team absolutely lost. These are close games, and both teams are playing very well. They're strategizing effectively, quickly, making split-second decisions. Keep in mind, I mean, you see how fast-paced this game is. All these decisions are being made in fractions of seconds. Every single one of these tools for communication, gunfights, strategies are all being made very, very quickly. And that's for most competitive esport games. Pretty much all of them, they're just so fast-paced. So being able to play with your team, play smart, have these preset strategies and executing those strategies effectively, both teams playing at a very high level here. There's a reason why both of these teams are going to playoffs.
Yes. Yeah, you know, so with these teams being 4-2 and 5-2, and SAGU Lions, let's not forget they have 4 wins, but ECAC they go off this point spectrum, I guess, and so a win is a point. But there was 1 week that SAGU didn't get to compete. ECAC still granted them that point, so both teams have 5 points in the season right now.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, it was like with them being that way, they're both on the top half of the teams in ECAC, so it's going to be high-level competition here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will be getting into this next game very shortly. And for all of you that are watching on Twitch, that are watching on YouTube, please comment. Let us know, how are you feeling about this match? What are some ideas you guys have? And, you know, let us know how you think these guys are playing and maybe some strategies they could employ and some concepts that you're seeing, some things you like. And shout out to the SAGU Esports, social medias, live streams, different things like that. You guys are amazing competitors. You guys are fighters. You guys do really, really well. And we love seeing you guys compete. We love seeing you guys give it everything you got. And we are going to be getting to Hardpoint on the map Embassy in this game for very, very soon. And, I mean, 24 kills.
Yeah.
By Aether, so well played.
So impressive.
I actually think for him specifically, I see him playing on that map a lot.
Yeah.
Playing, knowing the angles. I mean, this game is so much about just knowing where the enemy is. And if you know the standard positions of where the enemy can go, you can be really preemptive on how you approach, how you fight, how you pick your angles. Yeah. And I think he knows that map better than most.
And let's not forget, Aether is the admin for Call of Duty in our esports program.
Yeah.
And speaking as an admin, speaking as a team captain, a lot of times, if your role isn't to be that guy that gets the most kills or the most goals, whatever game you play, there's gonna be games where you just got to step up and be that guy.
Yeah.
You know, and be that, and it's just being in that role of leadership, and recognizing when you have to play a different role than what you typically play for the team. Because some teams you play against are gonna bring you out of your comfort zones, make you play a different game than what you're typically playing.
Yeah. Yeah. And that comfort zone is a huge part of this game, but also adaptability. And if you are forced into a situation that you're unfamiliar with, being able to adapt and acclimate to the game plan that the opponent is throwing on you and being able to execute what you need to effectively, but also being able to create your sweet spot and finding your game plan and forcing your game plan in this game and making your opponents play the way you want to play. And
going into this game of Hardpoint, I would love to see SAGU starting it off differently than what they did before.
Yeah.
You know, they took off, or they took off with a huge deficit. You know, or Elmira took off with a huge lead at the very beginning. I think if that doesn't happen, SAGU stays in the game a lot easier, maybe takes a win. So if we can see that kind of switch from this time around, that I think that's a big key to win for SAGU.
I agree. They allowed Elmira to get a pretty strong lead at the beginning. It was almost a 50-point lead. It was 50, 60-point lead. And granted, they kept it close throughout the match, but for the most part, they were always just a little behind. And having an early lead can do a lot, especially when you get that early lead. You can afford to lose the next hard point at least a little bit and allow the other team to maybe kind of get there a little bit ahead of you because you have the grace and the wiggle room, I guess, to play smart, play effectively, rush the hard point, and recapture.
Yeah, so I would love to see a different start here for SAGU, see how they kind of go, you know.
Yeah.
But like if
wow,
you
great pistol kill here by Ogden.
If you get a 50-point lead, that's 1/5 of the points you need.
Yeah.
Already ahead, and so a 50-point deficit is so hard to come back from, and SAGU was able to do it, and that's why I would just be so curious to see what it's like if they kind of switch that up in the beginning.
Yeah. And we'll see how the SAGU Lions continue to press the advance, to fight, play hard, give it everything they got. Both teams are such strong competitors in the ECAC Division B for Call of Duty League. And I believe maybe they are working on some technical difficulties, and that's the thing about playing online competitive video games is there are so many things that have to go right for you to actually get in a game and play.
So many aspects.
So many elements, like, you know, your computer has to be working, the game has to be updated, the game has to be loading properly.
The internet has to work, you know?
Yeah, there's so many different nuance technical things that go into playing a competitive video game because, I mean, these teams, Elmira's in New York. Yeah. I mean, we are seeing a team in New York playing against a team in Texas. They're playing across the continent here.
Yeah, and let's not forget the time difference, too. It's almost 9:30 in New York right now. You know?
It's pretty late.
Yeah, and so if any of these guys, I mean, they're college students, so probably not, but if any of these guys are the type to go to bed 10 o'clock, 10:30, you know, maybe they have typical early mornings, then maybe fatigue, tiredness is something that's coming up.
Yeah.
So
mental adaptability, but also mental flow, how you go into games, and just daily life. As you said, like the teams hanging out outside of the game and creating the chemistry, all those things are so important to competitive esports. But now we are going to get into our first ever Game 4 for our SAGU Lions esports team. And we'll see how they are able to adapt, how they are able to fight through, and win, if they can, win these next 2 rounds and secure a Week 8 victory. And again, we're on Embassy. This is a map the SAGU Lions know really well. They practice on this map a lot. They have a lot of experience. And here we have the SAGU Lions starting with a good early lead. And, oh, it looks like we are seeing some technical difficulties. I think Mewtwo's computer is causing some issues. Not allowing him to stay connected to the game and getting a black screen. But we will get this sorted out very, very quickly.
I saw Mewtwo's reaction, and either he's the one having issues or he felt really good, and having that draw come up is frustrating. You know,
and not being able to keep the momentum. And see, that's another part about technical difficulties. If you have a long enough pause, it can throw you off. And that's a whole mechanic of timeouts.
It's similar to football, you know, like calling the timeout, trying to ice the kicker before the game-winning field goal. You know, like ECAC actually grants timeouts. And so if a team wanted to, they're not called often, but if a team wanted to, they can call a timeout, kind of try to ice the other team if they got some momentum going. So, with SAGU winning the last game, maybe this is something that slows down that momentum, or maybe it's something that lets them kind of calm down, regroup, and, you know, come back stronger. So.
Absolutely. And we'll see how these teams can keep their minds fresh, keep their minds at peak performance, keep their hands at peak performance. I mean, granted, this is mostly a mental game, but there is physical, mechanical skill and execution that needs to be had when playing competitive esports. And these players have to be able to use their muscle memory, their reflexes to play effectively. And honestly, I know this is something that is very well known by video game competitors, esports competitors, is, you know, getting too cold. And kind of losing the flow and losing the groove that maybe you found yourself in. So we'll see how these players are able to keep themselves up. Because Elmira's got to do the same thing, and for them it's later. For them it's 9:30. And as you said, this might be usually the time where they might be winding down, getting ready for bed and different things like that, especially if they have an early morning.
You know, with the stoppages we've seen for technical issues, or you know, or maybe players having trouble getting in or something, it's caused that to go later. And we're in Game 4. You know, if Elmira's in the same case where they don't go to Game 4 often, maybe they don't play this late. Very, very much. But you know, at the same time, we got to remember games do usually start at 8 o'clock Eastern time, so it's common for them to start at the time that we started. So.
They're experienced with the flow of at least the starting of games. But maybe the duration of games is uncharted territory. But for all of you,
especially with the stoppages that we've had.
Absolutely. But for all of you that are tuning in, thank you so much for watching this broadcast and cheering on our SAGU Lions esports Call of Duty team. Make sure for the SAGU Sports Network, you like, share, comment. Let us know how you guys are feeling. I want to know what your reaction was to the 24-8 absolute pop-off by Aether in that last game. Let us know in the comments. And same for the SAGU esports content, social media, all the things. Please show some love. They deserve it. They've been working hard. They've been fighting hard. But now let's hope God bless this network connection and MW2's computer in the name of Jesus. And we are going to get into this game 4 on Embassy. This is the hardpoint game mode. You have a zone that is moving around the map very quickly, and both teams are trying to compete for that space. And every second they are in that space, they gain 1 point, and the first team to gain 250 points wins this game 4. Oh, an Angry Snow Bear getting a good early lead, getting the first kill, and Ogden falling up quickly. And we'll see what the SAGU Lions can do here. Wow, great positioning by Ogden to be at an off angle and secure kills here. And we are seeing the SAGU Lions putting up great scores on the board, but Elmira, specifically Anti, getting 2 kills of his own. And also you can see on each player, you'll see that they have a K/D column, a STRK column, and a time column. So the K/D column is kills and deaths. The first number is how many kills they have. Second number is how many deaths they have. The STRK stands for streak, and it's how many kills they have gotten without dying, or since they have died. And then time is how long they have been on the hard point throughout the game. And right now we're seeing a pretty strong lead from Elmira, getting 23 seconds, but the SAGU Lions getting it back and evening it up. This is a much closer game, much closer start than we saw in game 1.
Yeah, and we're seeing SAGU kind of take this hard point right now, trying to even it up, maybe take a lead here. But we have to remember, like a moment ago, we saw Ogden take that kill in the bathroom, and he stayed there. You want to keep moving around because these teams are communicating, and they're telling each other where you are when you kill them. And so it's not like online gameplay where you can just kind of sit in one spot, like get some easy kills. They're going to come back and know exactly where you're sitting.
Absolutely. And it looks like Elmira was able to capture that control point, or capture that hard point, and now Elmira is kind of walking away with this early lead. They're going to hit that first fifth. They're going to get 50 points first. The SAGU Lions trying to gain control, but Elmira being preemptive, establishing control of that next hard point. And the SAGU Lions are going to push on, and they're not able to secure it. Elmira holding strong. And Elmira's got this hard point game plan locked down. But the SAGU Lions are not out of the woods yet. They know how to fight. They know how to play smart. And we'll see what they're able to do here. We'll see if they can maybe be preemptive. And you'll see that they can't see the whole time when the next hard point is going to appear. After a while, I believe it's 10 seconds, they see the next hard point and where it is going to show up. And you'll see that on the mini-map, where, as you can see, I believe it's 15 seconds. You can see there is a hard point that is filled in, but then there's another one that has a locked icon, meaning that it is not opened up yet. But wow, Elmira converting kills and really locking down that next hard point, and the SAGU Lions are really struggling here to get any kind of momentum.
SAGU's got to play as a team here. They gotta go towards the hard point together, go towards it with confidence. But you know, they're just kind of going in one at a time, and they're getting caught by these Elmira players smartly camping in these different spots.
Yeah, camping, essentially sitting in a single position and holding a single angle very well. Because if you know where the opponent's coming from, you can get away with camping. And that's usually a preferred strategy in game modes like this, where you are trying to lock down one area. But the SAGU Lions getting control of the hard point, trying to close the gap, and are able to get a little bit more of some points on the board here.
Yeah, these are much needed points for SAGU.
But here we're seeing Elmira moving on to the next hard point and have full control of that kitchen area. And we're going to see what the SAGU Lions do in response. It looks like they're pushing in together here. And the SAGU Lions are actually able to gain control. And now they're trying to even up the score here. And we'll see what Elmira does in response. Oh, and Elmira not able to hold it, and the SAGU Lions are able to lock them out. Even up the score, just a little more, and Ogden with a 3-kill streak. And they are able to keep this hard point locked down for just a bit longer. And now, going from a deficit of almost 100, reducing it to a deficit of only about 60. Very good job from the SAGU Lions to regain some ground, close that gap. And they are playing this retake very, very well. But Elmira doing a great job at being preemptive, and they have gotten more than half of the points they need. We are going to 250 points here. And Elmira's almost got that third, fifth. 3/5 of 250 here.
I think we're starting to see more team pushes here by SAGU, but Aether until he just died has been in that corner for a long time. I'm curious what the strategy is there for that.
I'm curious what kind of game plan they're hoping to execute here. But we'll see what the SAGU Lions can do in response to this Elmira aggression. And now the score's being pretty close to exactly half. The SAGU Lions secure that next hard point. And MW2 holding it down, trying to keep Elmira off of it. And he is able to do so.
Yeah, I would love to see SAGU just go heavy on offense right here. Try to get a lot of this deficit back and keep themselves in this game.
Wow, Butter getting 2 kills there. And MW2 getting picked off, and now Elmira getting control of that hard point. The SAGU Lions needs every point they can get. Wow, great kill by Angry Snowbear with the pistol. The SAGU Lions are trying to hope for maybe control on the last 20 seconds or so, and they are able to get it, bringing them up to 100. But Elmira's at 164. This is a really tough spot for the SAGU Lions, but we'll see if they are able to bring this back. Elmira has already got control of the next hard point, and they are pushing SAGU out. The SAGU Lions are not going to go down without a fight. Oh, they are Elmira here using these unorthodox angles very effectively. Great double kill by Ogden. And getting control of this hardpoint here. And again, the SAGU Lions, they're able to get points, but they're still so far behind.
Yeah.
They have to be on the offensive. They have to be preemptive here, or they will not win this. Because Elmira, they are very strong competitors. They're very, very good Call of Duty players. And we'll see what the SAGU Lions do in response to that.
Yeah, and as you can see, there's already about to be a battle for the next hard point before it even gets there. But SAGU's milking the last of the points as they can from this first one.
Yeah. But because of that, Elmira having a numbers advantage, able to get a preemptive lockdown on that control point, on that hard point, excuse me. And now the SAGU Lions are struggling to gain control of this. And Elmira's going to get up to almost 200 here. This is a very scary position for the SAGU Lions. Keep in mind, Elmira has won 2 games. It's best 3 out of 5. So if they win this game, that is it for the Week 8
Yes,
season.
This is do or die for SAGU right here.
Yeah. And we'll see what the SAGU Lions do in response. Elmira's not going to be able to win off of this hard point, but it looks like the SAGU Lions are looking to be preemptive in possibly taking control. You can see they were already there, and I think that is the game plan if they want to succeed here. But wow, 2 kills by Anti, completely shutting out, but 2 kills by Aether, and it's not going to be enough. Elmira has the hard point. Now, the SAGU Lions have to be aggressive here. They have to push. If Elmira keeps control of this hard point, they will win it. And that is not what you want to see by the SAGU Lions. Khalifa getting the kill. And now they only have to hold it for about 15 more seconds. And they'll win it. Oh, and the SAGU Lions, they need to gain control of the hard point. Elmira's got it. They only need 10 more seconds. Can the SAGU Lions find a way to gain control of this hard point? They're pushing on to the site, and unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Elmira, great gameplay, great strategy, able to get the Week 8 win going in to playoffs, going 6-2, whereas the SAGU Lions are going to go in at 5-3. Which, granted, both teams are going to playoffs, which is such an achievement for both teams. But I mean, 29 kills by Anti.
Yeah. He
was doing so well in this game 4 to secure this win here.
Yeah, and Elmira really, and from the 2 games of Hardpoint, I'm kind of feeling like maybe Hardpoint's their best game.
Yeah.
They really dominated both games. They've done a great job with the kills, getting to the next Hardpoint early. Let's not forget that it's a lot easier to defend than attack. So if you're the first team to the Hardpoint, then you basically have the upper hand for the rest of the Hardpoint as long as you can defend correctly.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, applause to Elmira. They played a hard-fought, great game today. It's not completely down for SAGU. Like you said, they're in playoffs. Maybe a loss like this is a good thing. You know, they get to look back at it, see what they could have done better, and analyze it deeply. We have over a week before playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, we have basically 2 weeks until playoffs. So, you know, they get a little extra time here to analyze this loss and, you know, grow from it. I think losses are the easiest thing to grow from.
Yeah. When you take a loss, and it was a hard-fought loss, there's lots of things you can take from rewatching their gameplay, see how they played, maybe some strategies they could change up, but both teams played very, very well, both strong competitors. Congratulations to both teams. And that is going to be it for the ECAC regular season. We have just concluded the last set of games for the ECAC. And now, as you said, in just under 2 weeks, we have the ECAC playoffs. Yeah. And most of the teams are going. I don't know of any teams that aren't, but most of the teams are going to be going to playoffs, and so we're going to see how they are able to compete once it comes down to the wire.
So I'm not sure how our other Modern Warfare team has done, but if they win tonight, then they are our 10th out of 14 teams to make playoffs.
Wow.
So as long as they win, we'll have 10 out of 14 that made playoffs.
That is such a testament to how hard the SAGU esports teams have been working. All of the players have been putting in the time. They've been building the chemistry, finding the game plan, creating their system to getting these wins. And I mean, 10 out of 14, that's a great percentage to have going into playoffs, no matter what division you're in. And so congratulations to all the SAGU Lions teams that have been playing so well. And thank you to all of you who have been tuning in to the broadcast for the last 8 weeks. We appreciate your support. We thank you so much on the SAGU Sports Network side and the SAGU Esports side. And once again, make sure you find us, connect with us. We love getting the interaction from you guys and hearing your thoughts, maybe some ideas, and just connecting with you on socials, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of the things. And I believe that's going to be it. Do you have anything else you would like to touch up on?
No, I just want to thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun today. A lot of fun doing this with you, and you know, you made it easy. And I mean, it's always fun to watch some Call of Duty.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. My name has been Evan the Astro Kid. I've been here with my co-host
Ivo Gravy,
and we want to thank you for tuning into this broadcast. And this has been the SAGU Sports Network.